Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which is a movie starring Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton. And this is a movie that, of course, I was looking forward to. I'm stupid. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I like movies like this. I mean, I love Academy Award nominated winning movies. I love those too. But I love these type of movies, the ones that just say, hey, come into the theater, just here's some blood, here's some stupid dialogue, just have fun. Stupid fun, just have fun. And I like those type of movies, and that's exactly why I went into this expecting. It's called Hansel and Gretel, which is already a fairy tale. That, I mean, it's not dumb, but you should expect it to be a little silly. Then it's called Witch Hunters, and it's rated R, and there's a red band trailer where there's blood every 2 seconds and cursing every 2 seconds. So just expect this to be dumb, and that's what I did. So I went into the 2D screening of it. What did I think of it? Well, let's talk about the story. The story for Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters in the beginning actually follows the classic tale of Hansel and Gretel, where you have Hansel and Gretel as kids roaming around the forest because their parents abandoned them in the forest, and they stumble upon a house that is completely made out of candy. They start eating it. They go inside. There's a witch in there. The witch says, well, she doesn't say anything. She kidnaps them, feeds them a bunch of food. She's about to cook them, to eat them, of course, have a nice meal. But of course, Hansel and Gretel got to be freaking dicks and break free and kill the witch and ruin her completely nice meal. Dicks. And now it actually skips a few years. Actually, no, it skips many years later. It doesn't even say like 20 or 15 years or something like that. No, it just says many years later, and now they're, of course, witch hunters, and they go around killing witches for bounties and getting money, going around being badasses. And of course, they're played by Jeremy Renner, who plays Hansel, and Gemma Arterton, who plays Gretel. And now the whole story here is actually they do their thing. They kill a bunch of things. They go to this village to go and do this whole bounty where I guess a bunch of witches are kidnapping kids, and these kids are actually a part of a prophecy that these witches want to do. And the main witch, played by Famke Janssen, is the leader, and she's the badass witch, and you don't want to screw with her. And she might even know a little bit about Hansel and Gretel's past, a little bit. And of course, Hansel and Gretel has to go and pretty much stop them. And it's simple, it's stupid, it's a really dumb plot, but you know what, it's kind of fun, even though it doesn't have much plot development, I mean character development, or even characters to begin with. I enjoyed it. You know, the dialogue's stupid, most of it's just bad, but some of it's intentionally bad, and some of it's, you know, unintentionally funny. And some jokes actually hit, but most of them miss. But you know what, I still enjoyed the story. It's very silly, very, very goofy. The acting here isn't great, but you know what, Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton do good as the two leads here. Jeremy Renner, of course, has been in many other films where he's proven that he can be a lead character, and here he does a good job. He's a badass for the most part. Gemma Arterton, I haven't seen a little bit, at least for a little while, and you know, I like Gemma Arterton. You have Peter Stormare in the movie also, who we just saw in The Last Stand, and even though he wasn't as good as he was in The Last Stand, he's still very enjoyable to see. Famke Janssen, like I said, she's over the top, but she's kind of fun, and the rest of the supporting cast does a decent job. So overall, the script here isn't fantastic, but you know what, it adds enough to make it a little bit more fun, besides it being a Hansel and Gretel movie where Hansel and Gretel are killing witches left and right. So yeah, the story's fun, but what's the best part of this movie? What are you going in to see? The action and the violence. Action and violence wise, you get plenty of action, and you get a huge amount of violence in this film. Now, action-wise, most of it is, of course, Hansel and Gretel beating the hell out of witches. Now, the way they beat these witches up, it's mostly not like, you know, like really strategic, very thought out maneuvers to take out these witches. It's mostly like them aiming a gun at them, telling them to freeze, and then they just run off, and they have to go and pretty much mug them, like just like kick them on the ground, like, oh fuck you witch. And I don't know, I thought that stuff was pretty funny. I thought it was well shot too, so whenever it actually happens with like fist fights with witches, I thought that was pretty decent. You know, it was actually kind of fun to watch. The violence, like I said, ooh. There's times where just people's heads get squished, people get thrown against trees, just explosions, like people explode for no reason. It's just very, very violent. Now, most of the blood and guts is CG, which kind of sucks, but there was some creative little death scenes here and there. So I was like, you know what, even though it was all CG, I appreciated some of the creative ways to kill a witch or just a regular dude. And, you know, I give them credit. It was pretty bloody and it was pretty violent. It was pretty fun to watch that. So the action and violence was actually pretty fun. I actually like some of the special effects in here. Now, like I said, some of the CG blood and violence, but also I like a lot of the makeup that went into some of the witches. Now, a lot of them were CG'd makeup, so it doesn't look like makeup, it was actually just CG. But some of it was actually makeup. Like Famke Janssen's character is, you can definitely tell it's makeup. And for the most part, it looks really, really cool, even though it's, you know, typical witch stuff. It's just like white face with some cracks in the face and like a big chin. But you know what, it looked cool. I don't know, it looked good. It didn't look amazing, it looked good. And there was one troll character in here, which I'm pretty sure it's just a guy in a suit, and maybe they CG'd over him a little bit, but the way his like mouth moved and the way he moved itself, you can definitely tell it was like a rubber suit. And I was very happy that they used a rubber suit guy. I don't know why. I was just like, you know what? We haven't used that in a long time. Good job. You know, a troll dude that's big and tough. Good that you used a rubber guy. Even though you might have CG'd over him, it's still a dude in a rubber suit. So overall, you know what? Even though this movie can be very slow at times, it can be extremely, extremely dumb, and the plot you don't really care for, or the characters you don't really care for, I still enjoyed this film. It was very bloody, very violent, entertaining. Don't go into this expecting even a dumb fun movie, because there's times where it can be very slow and very like, oh, that was just not very good. But there's a lot of times where it can be like, yeah, that's some good violence, that's some good action, and you know, that line made me laugh a little bit. So maybe I'm just dumb, I don't know, probably. But overall, I give this movie, I'm going to give it a 24 out of a 40. Not amazing at all, but you know what? Fun enough to go and see it at a matinee, or maybe just a rental when it comes out on DVD. I don't know. So there you go, there's my review, 24 out of a 40. Definitely go check it out if you just want to have some fun. Thank you, and goodbye.